Okay, so in this lesson we're actually going to start building our web page using CSS and style sheets. And just something you might laugh at is this is like my third time trying to create this video. Last time I made the entire video and realized my microphone was unplugged, and so here we go, doing it all over again. This lesson's actually going to be in more than one part, mainly because I just don't have enough time within each 10-minute block to talk about all the elements of CSS. So make sure that you stay tuned and watch each part so that you can get a full thing. Now here's the web page that we're going to create. All right, I know it is very ugly. All right, I'm not trying to make this pretty. Right now I'm trying to teach you the fundamentals of CSS and how to create a web page. And we're going to use this very common layout for web pages. All right, it includes a header, left navigation, right navigation, the body, and the footer. All right, and then once we get the fundamentals down, I'll show you how to make websites pretty. Okay, but what I want you to pay attention to first is you see the white space here, the white space here, there's white space down at the bottom. This whole thing is encapsulated with white space. Okay, and then we have each individual portion of the web page. Alright, so what you first need to do is, we've been working out of the file that I called web page, but we're going to start a new one since we're starting from scratch with a new web page. Alright, and this one I just labeled CSS lesson. You can call it whatever you want. And in here you're going to need two files. You're going to need your index page, which is just the index.html, and you're going to need a style sheet. Alright, and the way you do that is to go into Notepad. Alright, and then just click on the new icon or go to File, New, and then once it's opened, even if it's blank, it doesn't matter, go to File, Save As, and then you're going to save one as index.html, then you're going to open a new file and save one as whatever you want .css. Alright, and I named mine Style just because it keeps it simple in my head. Alright, so you're going to name it whatever file name you use, and in this case it's style, and then .css. Alright, instead of HTML, you're going to put CSS for your style sheet. Alright, and if you do that correctly, then you'll have this, a cascading style sheet. Alright, a type of file, you'll see cascading style sheet, and then you'll have an index.html. Okay, so now I have my style.css opened and my index.html opened. And the first thing I want to talk about is my index page. Alright, now there's going to be, you see this is the basic layout of our website with two new additions. Alright, we have this here and this here. Alright, I want to talk about this one first. This is called your doc type. I'm not going to get into every element of the doc type just because it's going to take too much time, but what you can do is go to w3schools.com and look up doc type. And it'll tell you all about it and give you examples. Alright, now there's specific ones that you can use. This is the one that I recommend for now, and you can find it at w3schools.com. And I've also put this tag up on your screen, but it is rather long, so I'd recommend you go to that site, just copy and paste, and use the one that says HTML 4.01 transitional. Alright, and this is the one that I would recommend you use for now. And basically what this tag is going to do is tell the browser what version of HTML you're going to be using for this site. And the reason it is key to use right now is Internet Explorer will do some really funky things with CSS style sheets if you don't have a doc type tag specified here. Alright, and that tag goes at the very top, even above your HTML tag. Alright, and then the next thing that's new to you is going to be this tag right here. And this is what links your HTML document to your CSS page. Alright, and it tells the browser to pull all of its styling attributes from this style sheet. And this tag is simply link, href, equals the file name of your style sheet. Alright, mine is style.css. And then rel style sheet, because that's what we're using, a style sheet. And the type is text/CSS, which we've used before. It's just telling us it's a CSS document in text. Alright, and then I have our title again, and I close the head and open the body. Alright, so let's go to, now that we have that, make sure you save it, and then let's go to our style sheet. Alright, and I've already typed these in just to save some time, but these are called divisions. Alright, each division is marked by a pound sign or a number key, and that denotes that it's a new division. You can name these divisions whatever you want. I named them container, header, left nav, right nav, body, and footer, just because those are the portions of our website. You can name them whatever you want, but for this lesson I would suggest you name them the same as me so that you can follow along. Alright, and the reason, and I'm going to show you each of these sections right now. This is the page that I've already created. Okay, the container is what, all this white space here, it's what holds this page within a certain size. Alright, it won't let the page go all the way over here, and it won't let the page go all the way over here. And it's just sort of creating a window within a window. So that way your page is going to be the same size no matter where you look at it. Alright, and then that header division that we looked at, remember, header, left nav, right nav, body, footer. Okay, we have the header here, which spans the entire part, left nav, the body, right nav, and then down here we have the footer. And this is the usual design for websites, most common with the header, navs on both sides, the main portion of the body in the middle, and then a footer. And that's what we're going to create. And I know this is ugly, but we'll make it pretty later. Once you get the fundamentals of building a website, you can build the skeleton of the page, then you can start dressing it up. Alright, so what I want you to do now is go into your CSS file and type it in just like you see it here. Alright, so pound container, pound header, pound left nav, pound right nav, pound body, pound footer. Alright, and then we're going to go in here and we'll define each of these sections later. Alright, so I'm going to go into my index now, and I'm going to show you how to call up these different portions. Alright, and so the first thing that we're going to call up is the container, because I want my entire web page to fit inside that. Alright, so the way you do that is go down here, and then you're going to call it division ID, okay, because we're about to ID the division that we're going to call up, and it's called container, because that's what we named it. Alright, and then since I want my entire web page to fit in here, inside that container, I'm not going to close it. Alright, so the next division I'm going to call up is going to be all the rest of them, because all the rest of our divisions are going to fit within the container. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pause the video while I type this in so we're not wasting time watching me type. Okay, so here we go. Now I've called up each one of these sections. Alright, so I called up the container, which is going to contain all the web page, and then I called up each individual one. So div ID equals header, and then I just typed in this is the header, and then I closed that division, and it's closing this one. Remember nesting, okay? And nesting is key with CSS, so it's going to close the two together, and then it's going to work its way out. And since I opened one, I closed it, opened one, closed it, opened one, closed it, continue and continue, and then I sandwich them all in right here. Okay, so I opened this div ID for the large container and closed it down here, which puts all of these inside it. Alright, so that's nesting again. We talked about that in later lessons, and it's crucial when doing CSS. Alright, so we're about to run out of time, so I'm going to leave this lesson with this right here, and then we'll pick it up again in the next video, part 2. And just remember, the new part is going to be your doc type tags, and you can find that at w3schools.com. And this is the link to pull up your CSS sheet, style.css. Okay, and then these are the portions that we're going to be working on for now: container, header, left nav, right nav, body, footer. Alright, so if you have any questions regarding this part so far, make sure you leave a comment, post a video response, send me an email, however you want to do it, and I'll be happy to answer them. And then we're going to pick this up where we left it off in part 2.